Hello students, welcome again. Today we are going to discuss a new unit rather. We are going to start a new unit and that is called magnetic effect of current. We have done so far electrostatics, we have done so far electricity, and we are going to start this new era of magnetic field, or the new chapter of magnetic field. Now this is somewhat related to your class 10. In class 10, if you do remember, we discussed the magnetic effect of current. It means a field due to a straight wire, a field due to a circular wire, and both of them of course carrying some current. So the whole idea is that a current carrying wire creates a magnetic field, and this whole idea stuck into the mind of this scientist in 1820, I guess, called Oersted. Oersted, while doing the experiment, when he bought a compass near this current carrying wire, he saw a deflection. So he made a conclusion that definitely this deflection the magnetic compass is giving has to do with the current in the wire near to that compass over there. So, and then he continued his research in some other field. But later on, these two scientists, Biot and Savard, they thought of this idea, and they came up with some series of experiments, and they finally came to a conclusion that yes, there is a formula which governs a current and the magnetic field because of that current. Okay. So, what Biot and Savard say? So we will start with this law called Biot-Savart law. It's called the Biot-Savart law. The Biot-Savart law formulates the magnetic field and the current in this manner. This is the vector form of Biot-Savart law. This comes in the vector form. Okay. I have to explain, obviously I have to explain each and every term, what are these things, terms over there. This need to be written very clearly. Now, what Biot-Savart says, that this is a constant term which was found experimentally. 4 pi, nothing to tell. Mu naught, what is mu naught? Mu naught is called, remember epsilon naught is called permittivity, mu naught is called permeability. Is called permeability, correct? And the value of mu naught by 4 pi as a whole, that is more interesting to remember, is 10 power 7. I will come to the unit of this. Slowly and slowly I will come to the unit of this. Okay? Mu naught 4 pi 10 power minus 7. Or you can take the unit right away. It's better to remember the unit. The unit for this is given by Newton Tesla meter ampere inverse. Is Tesla meter ampere inverse, which you can very soon derive from here, over here, don't worry. Now, so we know that this is a constant. Now what exactly is IDL, what exactly is R, and what exactly is R cube? So what Biot-Savart said about the law is this, that if you have a current carrying wire, let us say a current carrying wire, I will start with a straight wire because the book starts with a curvy wire. So let us start with a straight wire. So if I have a small element which is carrying a current I, okay, and this small element has a length of dl, and the current is going in the upward direction. So the IDL, this is a vector term, correct? What is this called? This is called current carrying element. Current carrying element. This entire term is called current carrying element, which is a vector whose direction is in the direction of current. So if the current is upward, that means your IDL will have a direction in the upward direction. So remember current. So IDL has a direction of I. What is R? Now suppose for this I want to know what is the field at a distance of R from the midpoint of this element. Let us say my distance is R over here. Here. So this is called position vector. From where to where? From the current carrying element to the point where you want to find the field. So suppose here I want to find the field. This is also a r vector. So you have two vectors, one vector in this direction, another vector in this direction. And these two undergoes cross multiplication, or you can say cross product, okay, and divided by the magnitude of r. That is just the magnitude part. This is more important. So this is your r and this is the magnitude of r cube. So ideal cross r is the cross product. Cross product, if you remember how to do cross product we do like this. The one which comes first, you have to stretch your right hand. This is my right hand. So you have to stretch your finger towards ideal and then you have to cross your finger towards r. So ideal cross r. This is your ideal cross r. So if I do the ideal cross r, my thumb will point inward. So the field here will be inward, inside. This is your ideal cross r. So you can do ideal. You have to keep one thing in mind. You have to just predict the future of nearest future of 0.005 second. So your prediction is this, that you are supposed to curl your finger towards r. So your palm should face towards r, because you can only curl your finger towards your palm. So I is this, I can be like this, but what will I do with this? I have to curl in this direction, whereas my r is not in this direction, my r is in this direction, correct? So while stretching only, you have to ensure that your palm is facing towards the r, okay? Then the curling becomes easier, so thumb will point in the right direction, and so here the cross product says inward, perpendicularly inward, perpendicular to the plane and inside. To the plane and inside. Okay. So suppose if I have this wire now, let us say I want to find field in this direction over here at this point. What is the field? So in this case, this is my ideal cross r. So it is pointing outward. So the field is in this direction. Okay. That is perpendicular to the plane and outside. Okay, one thing you should remember is this, that if this is my I and if I have to find a field in the same direction, that is my r, this is very important because the answer is 0. Okay, the answer is 0. If this is your I and if this is your r, the r is in the same direction where you want to find the field. That means r is the same direction of current. Sorry, r is in the same direction of current. It means that I cannot do a cross product over here, because for cross product you need perpendicular components. But here this is absolutely parallel component. So in this case, my field at this particular point will be equal to 0. Also, if you see from this result, if you see this focus only, just focus on this part. If you focus on this part, ideal cross r. Now how do we write a cross b vector? If you remember the concept of cross product, a cross b is written as ab sine theta with a direction called n cap. But most importantly, if you remember sine theta, I have to write this one as ideal cross r into sine theta. What is theta? Theta is the angle between ideal and r. In this case, the value of theta is 90. So what is the value of sine 90? The value of sine 90 is 1. In this case also the value of theta is 90, and hence sine 90 is equal to 1. But what about this case? In this case, the value of ideal r sine 0 will appear, correct? Because in this case theta is equal to 0 degree, and as a whole this entire thing will become sine 0, and sine 0 is 0, so the whole thing will become 0. That means field due to a wire only exists around its surrounding, but not in the same line. So if this is my wire, there is no field along the same line. There is no field along the same line. Field is here, field is here, field is here, field is around it, but not along it. Okay? Okay, that's fantastic. Field is around the wire, but not along the wire. Okay? So we can keep this in future also. Very important statement, English. Okay, so let's see. This is almost done. Now the question is, this is a vector form, as I have already told you. This is a vector form. How do we write the scalar form? So this I have almost told you how to find a direction. How do we deal with the magnitude form? Magnitude form is like this. So from the vector form, if I go, this will be equal to mu naught by 4 pi I dl sine theta divided by r square. Okay, because okay, I will write completely. Ideal r sine theta, and then one of the r gets cancelled out, and so you will get mu naught by 4 pi I dl sine theta divided by r square. This is my magnitude form. Mu naught by 4 pi I dl sine theta divided by r square. What is sine theta? Let me remind you again. What is sine theta? Sine theta, theta is the angle between I dl vector and r vector. Don't forget this. For example, if I have a wire, okay, if I have a wire like this, a wire current carrying element ideal in this direction, and here I want to find field, that is theta equal to 30 degree over here. This is where I want to find the field. So in that case, if you deal with the magnitude part, or I will write both, mu naught by 4 pi I dl r sine 30 divided by r cube. See, if you use one r over here, you have to use r cube over here. Okay. Now from where I am getting this numerator, I am getting from the result of a cross b is equal to a b sine theta. So you have a cross b, correct? A cross b was there, so that is equal to a b sine theta. A b sine theta. Ultimately, one of the r will get cancelled out, and this becomes 2. And then you can put the value of sine 30. Sine 30 is half, and then you get the entire answer. Okay. Unit of magnetic field. Since we have started the concept of magnetic field, so we have to write the unit of magnetic field. Unit of magnetic field is equal to Tesla. Okay, it's called Tesla. There is one more which says, there is one more unit, is called Tesla, denoted by T. CGS unit is Gauss, denoted by capital G, and 1 Tesla is equal to 10 power 4 Gauss. Yes. It has one more unit, which will come later. That is Newton ampere meter inverse. It has one more unit. Magnetic field has one more unit, and that is called Newton ampere meter inverse. Basically, you know from where this is coming. Okay, I don't want to go into flashback and all. You know, and obviously I am going to teach this. It's coming up very soon. Very soon it will come up. Not today. It will take some time. Okay, with all this introduction over, that we have a current carrying wire, and the current carrying wire creates a magnetic field around its surrounding, but does not create field along it. It has a unit of Tesla or Newton per ampere per meter inverse. CGS unit is Gauss. 1 Tesla equal to 10 power 4 Gauss. Now what you have to do, which I want you to do very seriously, is the dimensional formula of magnetic field. This I want you to do very seriously. That is dimensional formula for magnetic field. Okay, derive it. Now we will go for the application. Application of Biot-Savart law. Number 1. Magnetic field at the center of a current carrying coil. And this is how we do it. So suppose I have a current carrying wire current is going in this direction. We call it anti-clockwise. And I want to know what is the field at the center. How much is the field and what is the direction of the field. Now remember, Biot-Savart does not talks about circular wire. It does not talks about straight wire. Biot-Savart says small element, correct? Because you may think why Biot-Savart gave us for small element. I will say no. Good thing is that Biot-Savart gave for a small element, because any shape, whether circle, rectangle, any shape can always have a small element, and from that small element, how to get that shape, there is a process called integration. Okay, so it's a very good advantage of having Biot-Savart law in a small form. So we know that Biot-Savart said that small field due to a small element is given by mu naught by 4 pi I dl cross r divided by r. This is the formula given by Biot-Savart. So if I have to apply the Biot-Savart, first what I have to do, I have to take a small element. So this is my small element, and this small element is carrying a current in this direction. So this is my IDL element in this direction. Okay, and from the midpoint, from the small element itself is very small. Okay, but still I am saying from the midpoint. From the midpoint you draw a radius vector, and this radius vector is r, but for this coil that is also equal to r. What is r? R is radius of the coil. R is radius of coil. Okay. And what is the angle it makes? This IDL is in this direction. This IDL is in this direction. I have too many markers for you to help. This is IDL in this direction, R in this direction. What is the angle between them? The angle between them is 90. So this angle between them is 90. Now let's apply this Biot-Savart law. For small element dl, small field dV can be given as mu naught by 4 pi I dl capital R sine 90 divided by capital R cube. Correct? Okay. What about direction? Remember, the first one is A cross B. Now this is my A cross B. This is wrong, because see, if I do A cross B, this is wrong, correct? Because A cross B, who is B vector? B vector is R. So IDL cross R. R is not in this direction. Where is R? R is in this direction, correct? So I will stretch like this. IDL cross R. Now it's fine. IDL cross R. IDL cross R. IDL cross R. IDL cross R. Where is pointing out? Ideal cross R is pointing out. Pointing out means dot. If you do remember class 10, dot is used to point out. Okay, so I will write here, since something pointing out from the board, we write as plus k cap. Something pointing inside the board is minus k cap. In that direction, plus I cap. In this direction, plus j cap. And then minus I cap and minus j cap. So this is plus k cap over here. So dB is equal to, one of the r gets cancelled out, so it becomes 2. So you will get mu naught by 4 pi I dl sine 90 is 1 divided by r square. Direction k cap. Now this direction k cap was for this element. Now let us check for this element. Does this element also give direction of plus k cap? Let's check it. So this is my ideal. Remember, current is flowing in this direction. So this is my ideal, and this is my R. So this is my ideal and this is my R plus k cap. Ideal is going down. Please try. Keep trying in the topic. Ideal cross R plus k cap. Correct? Now let's check over here. This is my ideal in this direction. So this is my ideal and this is my R. Okay? Ideal R. This is your R. Ideal cross R. Oh, plus k cap. This also plus k cap. Even for this also, this will become as plus k cap. Take any point. Each point will give a direction of plus k cap. That means k cap is constant. So the only thing you have to do now is to get a total field, I have to integrate dl. Okay? Because R for any element r is common, mu naught by 4 pi for any element is common, for any element I is also common, for any element direction is also common. So I have to just integrate dl. So to get the total field, I have to do the integration from mu naught by 4 pi r square into I, integral of dl from where to where? 0 to 2 pi r. dl, if I add up, it becomes the perimeter. So perimeter is 2 pi r. And direction, of course, plus k cap. So B will be equal to mu naught divided by 4 pi r square into I, and integral of dl is 2 pi r. That is, you can directly write this one as 2 pi r. And this will again get one more r will get cancelled out, and you will get here as mu naught I by 2r. This is your field because of a circular wire. Direction for this case it is plus k. Why this case plus k? Because you have taken its anti-clockwise. If you would have taken clockwise, your direction would have been minus k cap. Remember this north pole south pole thing? Yeah, try to recall that. You remember north pole south pole, inward outward field. Okay, all Chinese thing. So here mu naught I by 2 pi r plus k cap. If it would have been clockwise, your answer would have been minus k cap. Okay. So we have that formula. Okay. Now one thing which I want to know, for you to know, I mean it's not important for ISC, but it's extremely important. It's extremely important that you should know this. And this comes from the very concept of unitary method. You can just apply the concept of unitary method and you will get the answer right away here. So suppose I have got the answer as mu naught I by 2r. I will not my direction. Direction depends on k cap and minus k cap. Okay. If it is like this, you will try to remember. Yeah, I mean like it's plus k cap. This is minus k cap. All those things. Okay. So I will just deal with the magnitude. Magnitude is mu naught I by 2 pi. Now what is this? This is the magnetic field due to a circular wire. Agree? If this is the magnetic field due to a circular wire, how much angle does a circular wire subtends at the center? At the center, a circular wire subtends an angle of 360 degree, or in terms of radian, it makes an angle of 2 pi. Correct? A circle subtends an angle of 360 degree or 2 pi at the center. So, if I divide this by 2 pi, what I am getting? I am getting field per unit radian. Am I right? Yeah. I know for the whole circle, it's mu naught I by 2r, and then I am dividing by 2 pi. What is this? This is called field per unit angle or per unit radian, multiplied by any angle theta. So what this will give me? So if I have a circular arc of any angle theta, this theta must be in terms of radian. Radian in the sense not in degree. So suppose if it is 30 degree, you should know how to convert 30 degree into radian. So if it is 2 pi, then here the theta must be in terms of radian. So mu naught I by 2r is a full circle divided by full angle gives you field per unit angle, and then you multiply with the given angle. So this formula is now applicable for finding the field due to an arc. So if I have an arc, I can find the field where this is my radius r and this is theta. Now if the current is in this direction, then field will be inside. If the current is in this direction, field will be outside. Use this rule which you learned in class 10 for circular part. You just plot like this, inside field, plot like this, outside field, or apply Biot-Savart law, whichever way. If you want to, if you hate radian and we log degrees, then in the same case you have to write this one as mu naught times of I 2r. Now this will be 360 degree, and now here theta should be in terms of degree. I am not writing degree here. This theta over here is in terms of radian, but here it should be in degree. So 30 degree, directly put 30 degree. No need to convert into radian. So when you are putting in degree, put here also as degree. If you are putting in radian, put here also in terms of radian. For example, I just take one quick example over here, so that you get a clue for this. This is 1/4 of a circle. 1/4 of a circle means 90 degree. And let us say the current is in this direction. I want to know what is the field at the center. Here I want to know how much is the field at the center. Radius is r. So field will be equal to mu naught I by 2r into 2 pi multiply divided into pi by 2. What is pi by 2? Pi by 2 is 90 degree. Okay. And then direction. Direction will be minus plus k over here, because it's like this. Okay. Even if you take a small element over here and you do like this, use Biot-Savart law or that right hand thumb rule which you have learned in class 10. That if it is clockwise, record your finger in a clockwise direction. Sorry, if it is anti-clockwise, call your finger in anti-clockwise direction, then thumb will give the direction of magnetic field. If it is clockwise, call your finger in the direction of clockwise, thumb will point in the direction of magnetic field. So that curling you should know how to do. If you do Biot-Savart law, use A cross B, ideal cross R. Whichever way it is easier for you. So here I will get this pi thing will get cancelled out. So 2 2s are 4, and then 2 1 2 will come here, so it becomes 8. So mu naught I by 8 r is your answer for this question. And like this, try some questions. Definitely you will get the answers. Okay. In the next class we are going to derive a big derivation, not that big, but just big derivation. That is field due to a circular wire along its axial line, not at the center but along the axial line. What exactly is axial line? So suppose if this is my circle of current carrying wire, and from the center here, somewhere here, from the center, this is my center. So from the center here along this axial line, so somewhere here, this is somewhere here where the nib lies. Okay, there, that is called field along the axial line. So that we will discuss in the next class. Thank you for watching.